Hey guys, in this video I'm going to cover updating your copy of VIRL if you ended up with the edition prior to the release of the switching iOS, and I believe the ASA iOS as well. I'll cover all the features that seems that we've acquired after the upgrade when this is all said and done, but I'm going to go through it based off their steps on their website. I've been speaking with the development team, looking forward to meeting with them at Cisco Live this year, coming up here in a few weeks. And if anyone has any questions, feel free to shoot them my way on call at blamethenetwork.com, or leave a message, comment on YouTube or on the website. I've also been in conversation with the GNS3 development team as well, and they're looking to push me out their latest copy as soon as everything is looking good on their side. And so I'm going to cover a side-by-side as well as an in-depth on the GNS3 platform as well. So just before I get started on updating the actual operating system, I want to let you guys know that I got VM Maestro running on my actual workstation, and it runs a lot more smoothly than if you run it from the server itself. Now, I looked at my specs on the server. I thought maybe I was running a little light on the server specs because my ESX server is not the most high performance machine, but I had 8 gigs of RAM dedicated to the thing, so I'm thinking that maybe if I would have remoted in, I'd have maybe seen a little bit better responsiveness than going through the vSphere client. But anyway, that's just some food for thought for you, depending on how you want to set up your VIRL install. It is nice being able to have the VM Maestro client on the server itself, so you don't need any third-party software. I believe VM Maestro is Java heavy, and so you may run into some dependency issues with that, as well as 32-bit versus 64-bit. I've got a 64-bit OS, but I had to install the 32-bit VM Maestro on this particular copy because of some Java issues. So if you can remote into the server and have it there ready to fire off for you, then that's good. Good for building topologies on the fly from remote locations. The other thing I want to cover real quick is in order to get this working correctly, I had to go into File, Preferences, go down to Web Services, and change the IP address here of these web services that the client seems to tie into. So just keep that in mind. For some reason I had the wrong IP in there. I'm not sure if initially when I did the build, actually, I think what it was I changed my internal LAN schema as far as IPs go after I installed VIRL. So perhaps initially I had a different IP address set. But anyway, if you run into issues where you're getting flagged for errors when you're trying to start the simulation, just go into File, Preferences, and check in the web services down here and on the bottom on the left side. And make sure your IP addresses match up, and also make sure that your credentials are on par with what you have set up on the server itself. So getting on to actually upgrading the operating system itself, I'm going to go ahead and just show you guys real quick the operating system that you've already seen in the prior video of the GNS3 Packet Tracer VIRL comparison video. And they have 2 options to upgrade. I'm actually not going to do the upgrade from on the operating system. I'm going to use a secure shell connection into it that I've already got running right here. And I'm going to go based strictly off of their directions on their website. And they have 2 options. I may be pausing this video throughout depending on if there's any load or wait times. But the 2 options that they give you, this is, I had their default passwords up. They have their default passwords listed on one of the community portals that they have available. And so once you get it installed, this will cover how to get into everything for you. But this is where I want to be right here. So they have 2 options, as I was saying. They've got the quick upgrade and the full upgrade. Full upgrade seems to upgrade the actual Linux distro, the kernel as well, bring you up to the latest code, which is good. I can do an update and upgrade on my own on the side, though. What I'm going to do for this video is a quick upgrade, which is supposed to bring just the VIRL software up to the latest version and ideally give us the additional features of switching and I believe ASA. We'll see at the end of the video here. I'm pretty positive. Actually, let me I believe they had a change management somewhere in here. if I saw correctly. Oh, and it looks like they fixed some issues as well with the latest build, so that is good news. I'm just kind of looking over some of the things that they've got. Looks like some captures, kind of like a built-in iOS packet capture capability. Looks like they've got some third-party ability to give you a capture that you can analyze in Wireshark. I'm not sure. I'm assuming they don't have a built-in analyzer, but either way, that's a good feature, good capability to have. Looks like I am at the bottom end of their new features, though. MPLS LDP support, IPv6 auto config for Linux servers, etc., etc. Here's one of the big ones right here, IOS-V-L2. That's going to be what we're looking for switches, configuration support. So this is what we're trying to gain by upgrading this software. NXOS v7.2, ASA v9.3. ASA 1000 v adaptive security appliance virtual machine is now available. Alright, so new iOS v15.2, IOS-L2 15.2. Okay, cool. So yeah, we're gonna have some good things here when we get this upgraded. So let's go ahead and get started on the quick upgrade. They do have a script available as well. Looks like you just set up a bash script on the local server itself, give yourself executable permissions on it, and go ahead and kick it off. I'm going to go ahead and do the step-by-step on the quick upgrade, though, and we'll see how it takes. It looks like it'll take about 15 minutes or more to complete, subject to connectivity. So let's go ahead and do the first step, sudo apt-get install -y screen. And it's going to go ahead and start updating on its own because we tacked the -y on there to automatically tell it to go ahead. I'm going to grab a quick pull off this energy drink while I check this out here. Okay, I guess we're done. So, moving on. Shut down all active simulations. Alright, shut down all active simulations, log into the, alright, let's go ahead and jump into VM Maestro, shut down the one simulation that I've got running. Giving that a second to do its thing. Believe I can keep an eye on it over here in the console window. And we are offline, it looks like. So that's cool. Back over to design, and just to remind you that we don't have the L2 support yet. You can see over here on the left side in the nodes that we've got iOS V, iOS XR V, CSR 1000 V, and NXOS V server unmanaged switch. So unmanaged switch being their current solution, but we're about to upgrade that. So I'm gonna go ahead and dump that down. Log into the user workspace management interface and terminate active simulations that may remain, such as jump host instances. So we're gonna jump over to the user workspace management, and I'm gonna kind of fiddle around here and see where I think I would find active topologies. I'm gonna go ahead and kill this one session. Not sure exactly what I killed off there, but hopefully I don't think the website actually said. Terminate any active simulations. So I don't see a particular menu item for simulations, but we're just gonna drive on, see what happens here. So we're done with that one. Done with that one. Reboot the server. Once file server's been rebooted, you need to SSH in and double click xterm. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and reboot this bad boy. This might not be the cleanest way to get a reset, but we'll give her hell, see what happens here. Alright, we're coming back on board here. Looks like VIRL went ahead and rebooted. And yeah, we're running on Ubuntu 1404.2. I'm pretty sure that distro gets upgraded if we do the full version. So back at the command line, let's go ahead and so start screen by entering the command screen and press enter to continue. Permission denied. Sudo bang bang. Just a heads up, anyone who's not familiar, sudo bang bang will run the last command you tried to run as root, and I probably use that a good 10 times a day anytime I'm messing around in any Linux distros. And it says spacebar to continue. Alright, golden. Okay. Enter the following command, use script, which will perform all the steps, including the reboot. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and I'm going to resize this window. You should still be able to see all of it. I'm going to there we go. Attaboy. I'm hoping this is still within the frame for you. So we're going to do sudo salt call test.ping. Confirm that the response is true. Response was true. And resizing still didn't get me what I need, so I'm just going to switch back over. If not, you need to blah blah blah. Okay. And what I'm going to do now, because I'm honestly kind of lazy, is going to go ahead and copy the command and send it. And I'm going to do the same thing for a couple other commands. You can make a bash script out of these, but essentially they've already done the hard work for you if you just copy the bash script from up at the top of this page. I just want to run through it manually, so if anyone wants to give that a shot, they can go for it. Looks like we're just changing a couple variables and some INI config files, and now it looks like we're going to actually start getting going on some install and some updates. And I'll let these run for a second on all of them and get a feel for how long it looks like it's going to take to update. And I will go ahead and pause the video if it looks like it's going to take a lot of time, so you may have some random edits throughout this video. And that one went successfully. Moving on to the next one. Alrighty, that one did not necessarily return an output that told me that it was good to go, but I'm just going to drive on. Alright, running this one now. Looks like we've got a couple more here. Alright, we've got looks like we might have something we got to do from the actual workspace manager as well. And I might pause the video. This one looks like it may actually take a moment, so I will be back in just a second here. Okay, that last command took a few minutes there to complete. Firing off the next one, which is right here. Okay, that one went a little bit faster there, only about 2 or 3 minutes to complete, probably 2 minutes. And going to kick off this last one of the group. Whoops. OpenStack.neutron. And this command, it has a note, various error messages will be reported during this process, these can be ignored. Outstanding. Once again, good pause video. Alright, that one completed. And honestly, they all looks like they all kind of wait till the end to give you the output, so I didn't even really notice too many errors popping by. I'm gonna fire off sudo vinstall bridge. Looks like it's done. Go ahead and do a reboot, and I'll bring the video back in just a second. I'm gonna switch over to the web interface once this bad boy comes back up, and we'll go ahead and upgrade our VM Maestro images based off the new ones that we should have now available. And I'll go ahead and install that and show you guys what it looks like on the new interface, which is going to be primarily the same as the old interface. We're just going to have some additional functionality, so I'll go ahead and try and drop a switch in the ASA and boot them up and see what happens. So I'll be back in just a second. Alright, VIRL rebooted. We are back at the the web interface, the user workspace management. You just go to the IP address of the server in order to access this. We're going to jump over to VIRL software like the install procedure told us to do. And it's going to take a second to load. From the overview page, you can see how your overall server, the OS, is doing for RAM and disk space usage, and you can also see instances of your live topologies that are running and how they're doing as far as utilization of resources. I didn't have any running at the moment, so okay. So we've got looks like we've got some version changes between a couple of the components. Looks like primarily the Maestro version. So I'm going to go ahead and update just the Win32 image. That's the one I'm going to be using here, and make sure that's it. Yeah, that's the only thing. If you can't see if it's off frame, there's some check boxes over to the right that say install, and so I checked the one for the Win32. I'm going to go ahead and start that installation and sit for a second and see how long this looks like it's going to take. I don't think we're going to get any feedback. We're just going to get the page to load once it's done, and once that's oh, you can see down here the VM image upgrades. Oh shit. Alright, well, I'm going to pause. What I'm going to have to do is there's checkboxes off to the right side of all of these as well, and it looks like we've changed versions on pretty much all of them. And as well, I don't currently have the L2 or the ASA-V image available, so I'm going to go ahead and install those once this thing gets done installing the new Maestro client. And I'll go ahead and resume the video after that. I'll go ahead and boot right into the new Maestro client. I'll download, install it, and get it started up here so you guys can see what that looks like. That should finish up the install. Technically, the install's already done, other than just finalizing the upgrade of these versions. And so yeah, it took approximately, the video was a little bit longer, but it took about 15 minutes total, which is what they said on their website, so that's pretty spot on. So gonna go ahead and pause here, and I'll be back in just a second. Okay, so if you opt to upgrade all of those iOS flavors all at the same time, you're in for quite a wait, it turns out. So I didn't keep track of the exact time. I was off doing a couple other things waiting for it to get done, but it had to have been minimum of 20-25 minutes alone just upgrading the rest of those, which I did not expect. But anyway, no worries, we're good to go on that. You'll be taken to an upgraded screen once everything's good to go. I'll let you know everything was brought up to the latest version. You can then jump over to your VM Maestro download page. You would assume they'd put a GUI front end based off the web server for this, but anyway, they got some links to the executables and whatnot for you to download there. So get the latest spin up. There is an internal update feature of VM Maestro. I didn't use that to try and update. I just reinstalled fresh on a new version after this got upgraded. But anyway, so jumping into VM Maestro, I've got it running already. Let me shrink it down here for you. I don't remember exactly where my margins are at for this video. Initially, you'll notice that there is not additional nodes over on the left side, so I was kind of confused for a second there. Jumped on Google, and of course their community forum, someone had already asked. In fact, multiple people had already asked, so they didn't seem to mention that in the install instructions, or at least I didn't read very well, which is very possible. But go down to File, go to Preferences, and go to Node Subtypes. You'll see that you don't see your Layer 2 iOS or your ASA iOS yet. Go to Fetch from Server, hit OK, and you'll see that it got upgraded there, or rather updated the list, so now you can see the Layer 2 and the ASA-V up top. So I'm going to go ahead and apply that, and hit OK. And we've got our two new devices down here. So since we already know how all the rest of this works for the most part on VM, or on VIRL, I should say. And again, I'm going to cover a more in-depth video once I have a discussion with the VIRL team. I'm going to attend one of their DevNet sessions at Cisco Live to hopefully pick up some more info for you guys, some insider scoop or just additional features. But what we're going to do is, I'm in design mode. Let me go ahead. No simulations running, correct. And got a couple of Layer 2 switches in there. Put an ASA in there. And actually, I'm gonna dump off one of these Layer 2 switches. I just want one of each. think I'm stressing out my server now. It has been responding a lot better with VM Maestro off of the server and onto my local workstation, but I think with all the updates and upgrades and everything, I was watching the processor utilization and the RAM utilization for a minute, and it looks like it was taking a beating just for a second there, but all should be well now. I'm just not sure exactly. Seems to slow down for just a second here. Let me take a quick administrative break since this whole video has been pauses anyway, and once I get this sorted out real quick, I'm going to go ahead and start up the simulation and show you guys console into those devices. So give me just a second here. Alright, everything is powered on and running with the simulation. If you start one up and you don't see the devices over here, just go ahead and hit the refresh the list, and it'll bring up all your active devices in the current simulation. Before I jump into those devices, which I'll cover that in just a second, if you go over to the Auto Netkit topology visualization, you can get to this by using the Auto Netkit to do initial configurations on the devices. I'm sure there's another way to get into it, but I need to hunt down how to do that. You might be able to get to it from the web interface of the server itself, but you can change different views here. Physical topology, layer 1, layer 2, layer 3. You're not going to see too much going on right now with my particular setup, just because these two devices don't really have much going on. But you can switch over and you can view, for example, different routing protocols and how they're connected together. It's pretty neat the way it's able to break it down for you, and you can move things around within here and arrange things how you want. And I'm sure there's plenty more functionality to it that I'm not covering, just because I'm still kind of getting a feel for how this thing works. But I thought that was kind of neat. So heading back over to VM Maestro, if I jump into the layer 2 switch, let's go ahead and actually just telnet to its console port. We are in. Whoops. Looks like the enable password was Cisco. I don't remember an enable password. I'm thinking that the Auto Netkit put that on there for us. But anyway, this is the switch iOS that we got after this upgrade. So I was just going to do some tinkering around. I'm not going to be able to show you the ASA. It looks like I've got some initial issues I need to get worked out, because natively you cannot telnet into ASAs. You can only SSH into them, and when I go to SSH into it, I tried just a second ago, it gave me an error about having no route to the host. So I think that's just something I need to work out. Ideally, you set up a management VLAN and get to the ASDM interface anyway, but I need to see how VIRL and VM Maestro handles this. Taking a little bit of time building the configuration over here in the terminal session. There we go. Now we're up and running. And I just watched the enable password swing by. So yeah, we are running. Gig 00 is currently set to switch port mode access. Looks like it's using there's no VLAN particularly assigned, so it's on VLAN 1. If I do a show version, VIOS layer 2 advanced enterprise K9. I just wanted to see what this showed as far as for the switch. So I should be able to go into int gig 00 for example and do switch port access VLAN 50. And perfect, it actually built a layer 2 VLAN. I've seen weird bugs before where iOS won't do that, but so that's good to go. If I do show run int G00, we should now see switch port access VLAN 50. So that's good. We've got layer 2 going on these ports. So this is indeed the layer 2 iOS. Just to see if it's got a couple other things. And it does have port security. So yeah, everything we can expect from layer 2 iOS we have there. So I'm looking forward to using this in some upcoming topologies. Now, the way you add ports to this layer 2 switch, it natively only comes with like one port attached to it, is you have to go over to the node editor and drag interfaces into it, and I think it could hold a maximum of up to, I want to say like 12 ports or something, but for small topologies 12 ports will get you by, and just the fact that it can emulate the layer 2 iOS in and of itself integrated into VM Maestro is a pretty cool feature. And again, I'm going to have to double back and cover the ASA in the more in-depth video. I'll probably release that after Cisco Live and after I meet with the VIRL team. I want to see what they have to say about it. And I'm going to one of the DevNet sessions, as I've said towards the beginning of the video, so hopefully I'll learn a couple interesting tips and tricks that I can show you guys on how to use this for your certification studying. So, alright guys, so that's it. We've upgraded VIRL to the latest software version, which gave us functionality of the layer 2 switching iOS as well as the ASA iOS. Looking forward to using them moving forward in the real-world networking scenarios. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments or send them in a message. Go ahead and subscribe if you already haven't, if you're looking forward to future networking-related videos for certifications and real-world networking scenarios. And if you have any questions for the VIRL team as well, send them my way, and I'm going to go ahead and push them to them during the Cisco Live conference, and I will return any information they have for you. So thanks for watching, guys.